Good morning. I'm Vijay Madhavi. Today we'll start with the one of the important concept of our first unit CN is ISO OSI model. Okay. Here, what is mean by this OSI model? Here we are going to name it as a ISO OSI model. Why? It was Open System Interconnection International Standard Organization established a committee in 1977 to develop the architecture for the computer communication. Okay, and the OSI model is a result of this effort. Okay, that's why we are going to call it as the ISO OSI model. That means this international standard organization here it was started, was established a committee in 1977 to develop a architecture for computer communication. Okay, this is the effort and the result of the OSI model. Okay. And next here, we'll learn about OSI. What is meant by this OSI? Open System Interconnection Model. What is meant by this open? The term open denotes what? The ability to connect any two systems which conform to reference model and associated standards. And this OSI model describes how information or data makes its way from application program through a network medium, okay, to another application program located on the another network. And next, this OSI reference model, it divides the problem of moving information between the computers over a network medium into 7 small and more manageable problems. Okay, and those we are going to call it as a 7 layers. Here we have a 7 layers architecture. In this 7-layer architecture, we have physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session, presentation, and application layer. What is this physical layer? It to transmit bits over a medium to provide mechanical and electrical specifications. And the next layer from this in this layered architecture after the physical layer is the data link layer to organize the data into frames to provide the hop-to-hop. That means hop-to-hop delivery means what? From sender to receiver, system to system. Okay. And what is this network layer? To move the packets from source to destination and to provide the internet. What is mean by this transport layer? To provide reliable process-to-process message delivery and also error recovery. Okay. And what is mean by this session layer? To establish, manage, as well as terminate the sessions, we'll use the session layer. Next, we have the presentation layer. To translate, encrypt, and compress the data, we use the presentation layer. The next one, what we have is the application layer. To allow the access to network resources. To allow the access to network resources, we have this application layer. Here we have the 7 layers. Those are physical, data link, network, transport, session, presentation, and application. Now, here whenever if we have a communication of data, here it will be done from this 7 layers. Okay. And next here, what is the work of this physical layer? Okay. The physical layer is responsible for transmitting the individual bits from one node to the another. Okay. This physical layer is the lowest layer of the OSI hierarchy, and it coordinates the functions required to transmit a bit stream over a physical medium. Okay. And here in this physical layer, it is going to transmit the data like this. Okay. And specify the type of transmission medium, and the transmission mode is simplex or hop duplex or full duplex. Okay. And next what we have is a data layer. The layer is responsible for transmitting the frames from one node to the next node. Okay. Here from this, here we have from network, like you just see here, we are going to have this transmission medium. Through this data link layer, we just have the transmission. Okay. Here. Next, this data link layer is responsible for the transmitting of frames from one node to the next. And next, what we have is a network layer. This layer is responsible for the delivery of individual packets from the source host to the destination host. This network layer provides the details that enable to be routed between the devices in an environment using multiple networks or subnetworks or both. Okay. And next what we have is the transport layer. This layer is mainly responsible for the delivery of a message from one process to another. Here, this transport layer, it controls the and ensures the end-to-end integrity of the data messages. Okay. And here, next what we have is a session layer. In this session layer, this layer is responsible for dialog control and synchronization session layer. Sometimes called the dialog controller, it provides a mechanism for controlling the dialogue between the two end systems. Okay. It defines how to start, control, and end conversations between the applications. Okay. And here, whenever if we have a transmission from presentation layer to the transport, and from transport layer to the presentation. Okay. And that means here we have, it means the transmission is like this. And finally, we have a presentation layer. Next, we have application also there. This presentation layer provides independence to the application processes by addressing any code or syntax conversation, which is necessary to present the data to the network in a common communication format. Okay. And next, finally, what we have is the application layer. This application layer is the highest layer in the hierarchy and is analogous to the general manager of the network by providing access to the OSI environment. Okay, this is the final layer, and in this final layer only we have this complete communication of data. Here, from presentation layer to the application layer, we have this transmission, and from here we have this like this. Okay, and next, you just see in this, the very important point which we have to understand is this 7-layer architecture. What is the work of this each and every layer? In this 7-layer architecture, we have to learn the work of each and every layer. And next here, how the data is transmitted. Just see in this physical layer, when we are learning about the physical layer, here we have a physical layer. The transmission is with the physical layer. And in data link layer, it is data is in the form of bits. Next, we go for the what is the third layer? Physical data link network. What is the network layer? In this network layer, you just see physical layer is completed. Next, data link layer is completed. Next, network layer is going to maintain the how the data is going to be transmitted. Okay. And next, what we have from network layer, we have to the transport layer. Okay. From network layer, we have the transport layer. And next, in the transport layer, the data is in the form of packets, it will transmit. Next, we have the network layer, then we have transport layer, session, presentation, and application. Okay. And in the sessions, it is going to be done. Final step is the application layer. Here, the final step is the application layer. Like this, the complete data transmission is going to be done. Okay. We'll continue with the next class in the next topic. Thank you.